Hi everyone and welcome to today's video. I know that it's still quite early in December, but I thought I'd film a recap of my year of 2017. Now for me personally, racing is done for the year. I've got no more races booked up, so the next few weeks for me are going to be not easier, but I'm going to take a step back from sort of any form of too intense training or anything which is leading up or gearing up to a race. So I'll quickly recap the year. I'll start in January and just go through month per month what I've done, what I've achieved and what I'm proud of. I actually sort of went through my camera roll to have a look at what I've achieved, because I think that whenever something good happens, normally people capture it in photos. So it really helped me sort of capture what I've done this year and what I've achieved. So starting off with January. So this was the sort of start of new things for me. Clean Coach Katie had sort of already been born as a concept and an idea, but I qualified as a personal trainer in January, and also in the same month hosted a fitness event called Fuel Your Fitness, where I did a workout session. We had Peel Juice Bar come along to do some food, and then I did a talk about nutrition as well. So that was a really good sort of start, a kickstart to Clean Coach Katie and launching as a personal trainer. My nephew was also born, which was a big thing in our family, which was a good start to the year as well. He didn't come at Christmas, which my sister was really pleased about. And then also my marathon training had sort of really begun come January. I was building up to the London Marathon. So in February, after I'd qualified, I then found a studio, which is the studio I'm now still working out of. And this is where I'm doing my one-to-one sessions for personal training. In March, I launched my first fitness class. That was on a Wednesday evening. It was at a later slot, but yeah, I did it at a local hall, which I now use actually, local sports pavilion. And I got my new half marathon PB of 1 hour and 43, which was incorporated as part of my marathon training. So I'd never really been able to get under 1:45, and on that day I did, so I was really happy with that. April was a big month for me and probably quite a big turning point in my life. Well, not my life, but in my running career this year, I'd say. So I took part in the Oakley 20, which was the very start of April. I guess it's where the belief started to come about. Oakley 20, I actually had a really good run. I ran with a guy called Grant. I had never met him before, but met him through a friend on the morning of the race, and he paced me. He was training for the Birmingham to London event or something like that, which is an absolutely ridiculous event. So that was just him taking it easy. But yeah, I did a really good time and I was really happy with it, and it sort of was like, oh, I can actually do this and I can do London in a decent time. So equally I wanted to do good for age, but I wasn't quite sure how it was going to go. And around this same time, this is when I met James, my now boyfriend, and he also put the belief in me to know that I just gave me the confidence around what I'd been doing with my training, and also helped me through the taper period all the way up to the London Marathon. So I did the London Marathon, which most people would know by now, as I go on about it all the time, and I managed 3 hours and 44 minutes and got good for age. I think it was 29 seconds, so I was 31 seconds, or it's the other way around, but basically I was just under. And for most people that know me, I always like to turn up just on time, so I believe that's what I did in that sense. So yeah, London was a big sort of a big thing for me, a big confidence boost. And then after that I set myself some new targets and I had new focus, because I felt really happy and positive about that, and I just wanted to continue all of that good energy. So in May, also as part of this good energy, I was able to take Clean Coach Katie and my personal training business full time. So I put all of my effort and energy into that. And two 10k PBs. The first one was at Bedford. Seem to be getting all my PBs at Bedford, quite funnily enough. So did 44 minutes at Bedford, and then I did the MK 10k, which is only about a week later, and I did 43 minutes 47. So absolutely chuffed with that and how my 10ks were sort of progressing. We then moved into July and I had another 10k booked. I took about 20 seconds off my last time of PB, and I did that at the women's running 10k, and I came second. So that was huge for me to be able to sort of be on the podium for the first time. And then not long after that I did something called the Ultra 5k, which is 5 laps of 5ks, and I managed to win every single lap and then get a trophy and come first, which was really strange. I'd never been in an experience where I was actually racing other people. It was more sort of always me racing. It's always me racing myself and my time and getting the best for me. However, then when you're putting in a race like that, you're racing other people and you're then actually using tactics, and it's something I'd never done. So that was a huge moment for me. That's the only trophy that I've got and that I've won, and I sort of keep that with pride, with all of my medals. I then also stepped outside my comfort zone. I did a public talk at a health and fitness show called Love Natural Love You, and I then started my training for the Bedford Half. Now I've been training all the way up to London, then I put myself through a 10k block, and then I started training for half marathon. So I've always had something to focus on, and I've always had something to target. So I guess that's sort of why I've seen so much progress, is that I've just been so determined and motivated on different stuff, and I've been able to sort of carry that through, all the while sort of really focusing on strength training and core work, as well, as that's what I do with a lot of my clients. So obviously to keep injury free and just, you know, be a stronger and better runner, more efficient and all things like that. So we then move on to August, and this is when I've then started, I launched my core classes, which have gone down really well with everyone in the running club, and people say they feel stronger, and in turn they're going to feel fitter and they're going to become faster. And then this is where I got my 10k and 5k PB down as part of my half marathon training. So people always ask me, can you get faster while building up for an endurance event? Yes, you can. So I then managed to get my 10k PB down to 42:29. That week as well, I was a bit ill during that week. So I do wonder if I wasn't feeling I sort of felt still weak at the end of sort of like Friday, Saturday, before I actually went into the race on Sunday. So I'm wondering what could have happened on that day, but that's irrelevant now. I'm really happy. My 10k PB now stands at 42:29. And the week before I did the Bedford Half, I managed to get my PB down to 19:56. That was at a park run, so it's not technically a 5k PB, but 19:56 at park run in Northampton the week before the Bedford Half. So again, another confidence booster ahead of my half marathon attempt. So the start of September, you know, I'd put a lot of pressure and a lot of focus on this. I did about 7 or 8 weeks block of training, and as my PB stood before, that was the 1:43 that I did back in March. So a lot to, you know, I knew I'd be in PB shape, but I didn't know what I'd do. The target at the start, I think, was like 1:38 or 1:37 that I personally wanted. However, James was like, no, you're on for definitely under 1:35. I went for it, I gave it everything that I could, and I did it. 1 hour 34:04. Over the moon, so happy. And then not long after that, I think the next day actually, I went on holiday and enjoyed some time off. So I came back from holiday, and then I wanted to do, again, I wanted something else. I found that always having something to target and focus on kept me going. So I then picked another half marathon. I did my research, I think whilst on holiday actually. I was sort of looking into races, and then I picked the Bedford Half Marathon. It was the second Bedford Half Marathon in December, so I'll talk through leading up to that. But I did some relay races at Crystal Palace, again pushing myself outside my comfort zone, something I've not done before, a very competitive environment, so it was a new kind of thing to me. And I became a run lead with British Athletics, which was great, and going to be running a course come January for my running club called Need for Speed. So then I set myself and set my sights. So I set my sights on the Bedford Half Marathon, and then began my training block again. In October I did the Leighton 5k. I won that, came first lady. James won it overall. It wasn't a PB because it was a bit of a multi-terrain course. I did what I had to do to get the female win, as they call it. I then did my first lot of cross country, which was a new experience to me. And then on the same weekend, I did the Brighton 10-mile race, which I did with my uncle. He'd asked me beforehand, I need to pick a race to do. Can you advise something? So we did the Brighton 10. Again, I pushed myself and I managed to achieve sub 70. So I think it was like 69.50 something. I was really close to just under sub 70, but I did it, I didn't care. Sub 7 minute miles for 10 miles. Boom, happy. So that one was done. After that though, because it was my first country and I had a 10-mile race straight after that, that week I actually felt a bit of a strain in my Achilles. I had a couple of days off rest, went to go and see Rudy at the treatment lab, my physio, and I just had to take a couple of weeks down after that. So not as much intense training. I was still running and I was still sort of maintaining it and looking after it, but I had to take a bit of time off and take a back seat, which was fine because I knew I had to look after myself rather than sort of doing any further damage. And that's the only thing that I've really sort of suffered with this year. I've had shin pains in the past, and I do wear compression sleeves and socks. I wear a lot of Rymora sports products just to help alleviate any sort of calf pain. It might be now where I wear them just because I've always worn them, but it's a safety net for me and I just carry on. So yeah, that Achilles problem was sort of just swept under the carpet, all fine. And then we move on to November. So I hosted an endurance running event, which was absolutely incredible. We had almost 100 people there, and the amount of people that supported it, all of the brands, was just unbelievable. And talking in front of that many people, never thought I'd be able to do it my whole entire life. Everyone's walked away and said that, you know, they found it really useful, really informative. So that's the main thing. I'm really happy that people found some good use out of it, and hopefully can put that into their training come the new year for either a spring half or full marathon. And then the Wolverton 5 came along. The last 5-mile race that I'd done was part of the East Midland Grand Prix series, and I managed to shave off 40 seconds per mile from my time. So I managed to do it in 33:16. So again, just another PB hit. It's just unbelievable how, you know, you put structured training in place and how it can actually really benefit you. Seems silly, but then also it doesn't at the same time. So you just got to put the hard work in, and then hopefully on race day everything falls into place. The day after that, I then went up to Preston, we did a 5k. I was gunning for a PB. I really wanted sub 20 again because I've not done it since. And unfortunately, mile 2 was absolutely flooded. There was this big puddle, and I'm not using that as an excuse, but it definitely slowed me down, definitely lost a few seconds, and I did 20 minutes and 4 seconds. So I'm happy. I was 3rd female. I can walk away and say that's a blooming amazing time. But I was still a little gutted that it wasn't sub 20 again. So that was another high. And then December, final races of the year, I did another cross country. Well, my 3rd cross country. The second one put a lot of pressure on myself, and I didn't feel like I enjoyed it as much as what I should have done. But this time around, I really enjoyed this race. And yeah, came out the back of it thinking I felt good, I felt strong, and all of the training's paying off. And then the next day did the Bedford half marathon and another PB of 1:33. Yes. So, and it was 1:33.04. So I like the 04 for some reason. So I managed to shave a whole minute off of my other Bedford race. Come September, I'm really happy with that because I put a lot of pressure on myself. I was having a chat with my friends Donato, Andy, and Rich, and I was saying, like, as I've just said, you can tell from all of that I've done a lot of races this year, a hell of a lot of races, and I just felt like I was all raced out. But actually, come the day, I just thought, don't think about any pressure from anyone else, just race it for yourself. This race is for you. I feel like sometimes there's a lot of pressure on me now. People want to, I've done well over this year. People want to then continue to follow my journey, which is really nice, but I felt pressure from that. But actually, I did better than what I thought. The course was quite tough. By mile 4, I almost mentally given up because I just was like, I can't take these hills. But fortunately, around mile 8 or 9, a nice decline comes, and I sort of managed to pick myself back up. I looked down at my watch and was like, right, no, I can do this, believe in yourself, put all the hard training into good use, and yeah, managed to do it. So super chuffed about that, super happy with how the year has finished. And then this morning I went out for a 1-1-1 session, which is 1 mile warm up, 1 mile effort, 1 mile warm down. I managed to do a sub 6 mile, 5:59.5, so just a half a second. Again, I love turning up just on time. So yeah, managed my first sub 6 minute mile, and that's it. I'm done. I'm out. I'm done for 2017. I'm finished. So yeah, it's been a great year for me personally, professionally, with my running, and I'm just looking forward to 2018 as well. So I'm going to end this video here quite shortly, and I'll tell you in another video what I'm doing for 2018 and what I've got planned. But this year has been fantastic, not only for my own personal progression, but also for a lot of my clients. Alongside of this, you know, they've all achieved quite a lot, and without them as well believing in me, I wouldn't be able to get to where I am today. So it's their belief as well which really helps and motivates me. So I would like to give obviously a lot of mention to all of my clients and all of their achievements, but this video would go on for far too long. But yeah, I'm glad that I've not only been able to benefit myself but other people out there. So yeah, great year for 2017 it's been. Looking forward to next year even more. Thanks for watching. I was going to keep this really short, but it's now probably about 20 minutes long. I'm sorry. Hopefully I've been able to cut it down a bit more, but thanks for watching, thanks for tuning in. 2018 video will be coming soon, and yes, so please like, subscribe, give me some love, send a comment through, and I'll see you all in the next one.